What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Road to Results podcast where we're all about uncovering the mindset journey. Yes, welcome to episode number 11, y'all. Yes, throw them ones up. You know what I'm saying? I'm Rhy, that's Ray, and we are here representing these results in real time as we're going through the UOU Mastermind by our fearless leader, Dr. Eric Thomas, aka ET, the hip hop preacher, because you owe you owe you. So what's going on, bro? Let's catch the viewers up. I know we're on episode number 11. The momentum is going, the spirit is flowing. Let's just catch up, check in, and just share, some of the latest wins that we've had lately.
Well, bro, it's like episode. Someone asked me, "What episode are y'all dropping today?" And I was like, at 6, bro. Hey, but we got 14 episodes uploaded. That's like you dropping episode number 6, but you got 14 episodes. I was like, hey, those are all bonuses, little extra credit for y'all if y'all want to get into it. Yeah, for man. Sure. I mean, that's just that alone in itself, man. We're recording 11 today, but we dropped 6. But we have we got more bonus episodes than when you got actual episodes. Right? I don't know if you realize that.
For real, y'all. So for those of you who might not be sure what we're talking about the Phenomenal Life 2023 bonus episodes where we interviewed a handful of the people on the ETA squad and some of the UOU members. So please be sure to check those bonus episodes out. And when you watch the Top of the Mountain interview, I know people get discouraged because of the technology we have. Like, everyone wants everything crispy and clean. But let me tell you, that Top of the Mountain interview with ET, it's legit and as natural as you're going to get it. We talking wind, birds, you're going to hear it all. So, I think about, being with
shaky Jesus arm syndrome is like
shaky arms, bro. So definitely y'all plug into those videos if you haven't already done so. And like we always say, please remember to comment, like, and share the podcast with anyone that you think will gain value from these videos that we're just sharing in real time. So yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so talk to us, bro. What's going on with you? What's new?
It's officially summer break in the Jones household. So I got a 9-year-old daughter who usually goes to school, then goes to gymnastics practice. So she working for about 14 hours a day to summer school, and there's no practice right now. So she got 14 hours of energy that's got to go somewhere. It's just got to go somewhere.
Come on, man. Parents who can relate, drop a like in the comments, man. So that your routine changed, right? So
we're still working through that, man. Routines changed. She actually going to be going to summer school.
Okay.
And we can hop into some of this, a little bit. But like the recognizing, that's why it's, again, discoverythis.com. Like, go check the assessment. Rhy will talk to you about it. But it's good to understand like who my daughter naturally is. Bro, she's a flight attendant through and through. Bro, she is a high energy experience, gonna love on you, gonna want to show you some things. But when it comes time to sitting down, being still and focusing on the work that's in front of her,
yeesh. Maybe not.
Yeah.
The limitation. We call that limitations in our world. A little limitation.
School call yesterday was like, hey, she it's not mandatory, but we recommend it that way she doesn't show up next year in the 4th grade running behind. And I'm like, hey, she's been out of school for 3 days. She needs it. She needs an outlet. I need that. I need that outlet. So they hit me up yesterday. I was at the gym. She was chilling with grandma for a little bit. So she can start summer school next week. It's only 3 weeks, only 3 hours a day, so she'll be straight.
Did you ever go to summer school?
Yeah, but that's because I failed classes because I was the same thing. I wasn't paying attention either. I'd show up.
I always wanted to go, but I couldn't. My mom would never let me. Like, she's
you
like,
wanted to go to summer school?
Flight attendant, bro. Like, I wanted to go to summer school because look, I was an only child. All right, so I was like only child on a solo. You know what I'm saying? You could only watch TV, for so long, and I was like, I just want to be with the people, but I never. Like, my grades were on point, and all of that. So back then, summer school was only for folks who had to like make stuff up. But I think they offer summer school now just for people just to even sharpen skills.
They offered it my high school, man, for people that want to get ahead. Like it was limited on the courses and stuff that you could take or the
Well,
classes you
high
could
school,
take.
I didn't want to go to
But
summer school in high school, but middle
oh yeah,
school
no,
and
okay,
elementary school,
yeah.
high school was a whole different vibe. I was like, no, bro.
I don't even know if they offered it then. They might have, but no, I went. I mean, but part of that is just because like I'd show up at school, man. Like we say in the morning, like I am not. I don't want to say I'm not a morning. We don't always want to say that we're not. That's a definitive. I would prefer not to be up early.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, we'll
I
say
got
that.
it.
We'll say that. So when my first period, man, was like English. I want to say like most of my high school academic career. And what I would do, so for you youngins, I know most of our audience is about our age, a little bit older, but I would have my Walkman,
Come
my
on,
CD player,
with the
with
auto
the I had
reverse,
yeah, with the auto reverse, and then
auto
also I had like
reverse.
the anti scratch or the anti skip,
Oh man,
settings.
bruh.
That would kill your 7 AA batteries that you had in there. But I
Man,
put
y'all
that.
remember
I hey,
that yellow Sony Walkman? You thought you
that was
was
the one,
like,
bro. That was the one.
yeah,
That was
you,
the Sony Discman, the yellow one.
bro, you
There's
was
like
fire if you had that one, bro. You was fire. That's
so
crazy.
so I would throw that in my hoodie and I cut a hole inside the pocket of my hoodie and I would run the wire up to my headphone. Bro, I'm in SoCal. We in
Bruh.
like cold days like it's 82 degrees. Man, I wore a hoodie like all year long, every day, all day. And I had that in there and just have my headphones on. And as soon as I get to class, man, I put my hoodie up, put my headphones up, and just lay my head on the desk. I assumed I was going to pass through osmosis. I did not. I did not. I got the
Oh
grade that I
man.
should have got, and that grade was a big fat F. So yeah, I went to summer school, but we're not here to talk about that. But yeah, schedules changed a little bit. But this morning, man, I mean, just today, we had our call this morning, and afterwards, I was like, okay, like I'm up, like I'm not just awake, like I'm up, and
In
so
context, give some context to that call. What is that call?
so that's our accountability call that we do every single morning during the week. We pretty much have an accountability call or strategy call or some sort of call on Sunday mornings too. So Saturdays are really our data. If you want to rest and recharge, that is the Sabbath for us. But yeah, so up at 4:30 this morning, wide like up, got on a call, cool, finished that up. We're done by 5:30. Man, I was like, okay, let me. So I was like, I'm just gonna work out here. Did a little exercise in the living room, just peace and quiet, not nothing. And then I ended up throwing on APOC service, so a place of change ministry that is ET's ministry through either him or Pastor TJ Tyus. Go check them out. And they're actually playing the message from when we were at Phenomenal Life. So I was like, bet. So I'm working out a little bit. Made breakfast for me, made me a good dozen hard-boiled eggs, not for today, but today and tomorrow. Made Vea some pancake sausage, bro. I went outside, scraped the pool, vacuumed the pool, got the pool all, swish or whatever you want to call the top of it, turned on the pump. And like, it's not supposed to go on until like 8 o'clock. I'm like, nah, we getting on now. Turned that thing on, bro. Man, I came back in, had already ate, worked out, cleaned the pool, and I was like, man, it's 7:15. I was like,
Yeah.
Veil's still sleeping, man. So I showered, got out the shower. I had a call at 9, got on the call at 9. Veil woke up about halfway through that, got her fed, man. Then we, finished up the call, man. We got, she's done eating. We changed. We went and played in the pool for a good hour and a half, 2 hours before we jumped on this. So
There you go.
summertime is in full effect.
There you go.
But at the time we're recording this, it is only 2 o'clock. We still got a whole day ahead of us.
Still got a whole day. Yeah, still got a whole day.
Whole day.
And
Yeah.
and I think that's something that's important that as we get older in our lives, when we look at summer break, yes, for our children and for students, for the most part, they still have that time off. But I look at it now for me and my work that I do. This is the off season. I work with a lot of teachers, a lot of educators,
Okay.
folks who work in ministry, who work with youth. And so this is kind of their time off. But what I'm actually doing now is I'm positioning myself to provide workshops, additional training for those who are in the off season to just sharpen their skills. So at the time of this recording, yes, what is it, May 23rd? In June, I'm going to be having some free workshops coming out for those who just want to. I have a program called Keep It Real. And keeping it real is just, again, it's an engagement program on how we can just continue to connect with our audience, mostly focused with young people and just helping people through that. And then in July, I'll be offering two back-to-back boot camps, where if they like the 1 day workshop, they can sign up and do the boot camp, which is going to be 2 days, but that's the paid version, right? Because again, value ladder.
Oh, yeah.
All right, road to results, y'all. Value ladder. And then from there, if they like that and they want to continue and do more work during the regular season when school kicks in and do some coaching,
They can get that subscription.
Leadership. Get that subscription, authentic leadership. We just do deep dive. So I think back to, what you said about being back in this idea of summer school, the question we have for y'all, and let us know in the comments, how do you sharpen your skills during your off season?
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what you just talking about that, man. I was like, they doing the prep work. We talk about that all the time. They do the prep work. Like, if you want more, you got to prepare for more. It will sound like a broken record, probably saying on most of our episodes, but that's real. Like, especially during times like this, where not just for yourselves, but like for your kids. So even if my daughter wasn't going to be going to summer school, like, I know she needs work on just sitting down and like just that reading endurance. So let's just focus for like 30 to 45 minutes. Let's just get that. But it's like that prep work, like that's not just going to happen over the course of the summer. Same thing with like the faculty members, staff, whoever you're working with. They're not just going to get better over the course of summer of just chilling. Yep. So if any of y'all are, I don't know, seasonal or really if you've got time off and you're taking more time off because you got the family, whatever, if you still have that vision and drive and that ambition for more, you have to do the prep work. And the prep work is the education, the personal development that is increasing you so that you can increase your output to get the desired results that you want.
Yep.
So with that, bro, we was yesterday, and I don't know if y'all can tell, like before we would do our coaching calls, those would be on Monday nights and then we record. But we moved it to Tuesday because Rhy's energy is always high. Ray is not so much. So we moved it to Tuesday to better facilitate this level of energy for the pod.
Facts.
So we had personal development yesterday, and one of the things was talking about like know exactly what you should be doing.
Come on, the 4 things. Yeah, the 4 things. So when we think about the 4 things, and I love the fact that we adjusted the day. So this is again in real time. How are we making these adjustments so that we can provide not just the energy, but we also get more time to actually let what we learn process, right? And I think that's something that's really important as we go through our coaching program. Is like, okay, we get the information, but now the question is, let it sink in, let us process it, and then what are we going to do with it? So yesterday, the personal development with E, we had the 4 things. All right, I'm just going to go through these real quick. Number one is knowing what you are doing every single day that you're working on your business or that you're working on that desired goal. So the question is, are you working on like if you have a full-time job and you're trying to build something, are you working on that 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, however many days you're working on that? Number 1, knowing that. Number 2 is knowing what you're doing during that time. Like having each day and having each block accounted for. So it's one thing if you know what you're doing, but like, are you doing the right thing in the right order? Do you have the timing down? So knowing what you're doing, is it in the right order and the right timing? Because like when we do our podcast, we had to switch the timing of recording this podcast because we knew after a long day, it's 9:00 my time, 8:00 p.m. his time to record again. We're like, no, let's give it time. So again, adjusting the order, adjusting the timing. And then step 3 was just knowing, like, are you doing 1 and 2? And what level are you executing those things? Average, good, great, phenomenal. Yeah. Right. So go ahead, Ray. Just tell me, just share a little bit of like out of yesterday's talk. What was kind of the one that like struck you the most out of those?
Well, the first thing, number 3, makes me want to go sing the Tony Rich Project.
This guy, come on.
Nah, man. So yesterday's personal development. I mean, the biggest piece, man, is like actually sitting there and going through it. And I was like, to be honest, man, like number 4, like, at what level are you doing it at? Man, I honestly said for myself, man, it's an average. As much as I would like to think that, I'm at least at great or good plus, I was like, I'm probably not giving the thing that I want to do, that growing this coaching business, the most focused energy that I possibly could to like grow it. So after the podcast or after the coaching call, man, I reached out to E and I was like, hey man, yeah, I need a call. Probably not with you, but with somebody else. This is what I'm doing. Like I have things out there. Like we got breaking formation, the course. We got the 6 powerful steps to decision making on there. We got the website built. Like we got, but I'm like, I still feel like it's not that I'm not clear on what I want to do, but I don't think I'm giving it the direct effort that I need to honestly say, like, right now, I'm doing this. I'm doing this at a great level, and we're working on getting towards phenomenal. And that's just that self-assessment, man. It's like, sometimes we get excited about the thing that we check some stuff off the block, but that's just steps to get to the results that we want, and we count those as. And I'm not saying don't celebrate your wins, but it's still that wasn't the result. That's not the result. I'm looking. Those are just steps necessary to get there, and I've knocked off some big things, but it's still not. It's still not the thing that I'm truly trying to get to. Like those were necessary steps, but there aren't the things that honestly require my focused energy. So yesterday was honestly a gut check for me, as short and simple as it was. But that's where I thrive, man. Just give me the don't get in the weeds. Just give me this. And I had to think about it for a second, and then just through the Q&A piece, I had my little question, but through the Q&A piece, it wasn't even when he answered my questions. He answered something, I don't even know whose it was, and it had nothing to do with what they asked. And it clicked, and I was like, yeah, I need to reach out. I need to reach out because I need to be performing at a higher level. I need to be executing at a higher level because I do know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I am doing them in a very particular order. And 3, make you fall in love with me. We gonna do 1 and 2 all over again. The frequency that we're operating. So frequency as far as how often I'm doing it, but I wasn't doing it at the frequency of greatness.
Yeah, I love it. And I think this happens to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business folks, right? Like we love the idea, right? We fall in love with the idea. We have this idea and then we move it to conceptualization. So we start like mapping it out. Like we get the domain, we get a little business plan, and we actually start to execute those things at maybe a great, even phenomenal level. But then when we put everything together, now what? Now how are we operating? It's kind of like, okay, we like to hunt to get to that point where we hunt, but then do we like dragging an animal, cleaning an animal, putting an animal, like, again, I'm not a hunter, but I know all the steps, but I think there's just this thrill of the chase. So when we have an idea, you get excited, you get everyone around you excited, and you got a plan, you put it all on paper and boom, 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 boom. But now it's like, all right, that's just step 1. And then when you get to step 2, it's like, okay, like now we really gotta continue to execute at that high level. So things start to fizzle out. I was talking to Jocelyn and Yoli this morning, and Danielle and I, we, just like you and I stay connected offline in just different ways. I was like, okay, the dust settled. We're back from Phenomenal Life. We were around the pack. We all got inspired and motivated in different ways. We all got our takeaways. Some got more clarity. But now what? Right. And I think that's really something that I love about this. And it's crazy because you looked at step number 4, like what level, execution do what hit you the most? And for me, actually what hit me the most was step 1. And it was, what are you doing every single, like how many days are you really putting in the work to grow your business? And I remember E saying a while back, when are you going to hire you? In one of our videos. When are you going to stop working for other people, or when are you going to start working for yourself? And I just started really thinking about it. Do I put in full 40 hours for my own business at the same effort I put it in for other people? Or do I put in 30 hours, 20 hours? Do I even put 10 hours in for what I want to do, which is crazy because the mindset for a lot of people is they'll go all in and stress out to work for other people, but will they even work for themselves at the same level? So like you said, are
Yeah.
you executing at one level? But before that, step one, are you even putting in the time to really grow your business? So I put I think 5 to 6 days, but 5 or 6 days I'm working on it. But how many hours per day? When I broke that down, it was really only like maybe 2 or 3 hours a day max. Right. So if we do the math, 5 times 3 at the 15 hours a week.
You's enjoying the fruits of your potential labor.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it was definitely a gut check in that way. But I did tell myself, at least in those 3 hours or 2 hours, I'm in that good plus great operation, level.
Yeah.
But then now it's only 5 days, 6 days times 2 or 3 hours. So I said, okay, what I want to do next week is I want to give myself 4 hours, at least times 5 days, give myself 20 to 24 hours dedicated to my business, admin, creativity, recording, marketing, getting new clients, following up with clients, like really put in that time like I do for some of the other work that I'm contracted for. Like I'm contracted as a speaker, facilitator, trainer for, with all these other organizations. And I feel like I definitely execute at a high level for them. But the question is, gut check, when am I going to execute for myself at that same level, but
Yeah.
with even more like time? I'm like 12 hours, 15 hours. And I think that's where people get caught up in, oh, I own my own business. I got flexibility. I got freedom. But really, you don't have freedom because if you're still stuck and you're still broke or you're not moving the needle the way you want to move it, you really ain't. There really is no flexibility. There's no real freedom. Right.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think people get freedom twisted with, oh, I make my own schedule, do what I want to do. But you and I both know that is actually not the case. That is not the case when it comes to freedom. So let's talk about that. Yeah, freedom. What is like your version, or what is your idea when you think of this freedom in the five pillar sense, the Jamal King five pillar sense? And then I know you have military background as well, experience. So break that down for us, bro.
I mean, in the simplest form, man, to freedom for me is like deciding on the things I either want to do or I don't want to do. So it's not just about like, oh, cool. Like I want to go to Cancun for a phenomenal life. Cool, let's go. I want to go to, the family reunion, make real estate real in Dominican Republic. Cool, let's go. It's not just about making sure that things I want to do, but when I don't want to do something, and I'm talking like if I don't want to go spend 6, 8 hours working on something, I'm like, I don't got to do it. There's like just the freedom of that. Either I do want to or I don't want to. And to me, it's as simple as that. Some people may be a little bit more in depth, the freedom to help someone else out. But again, to me, it's not I can or I can't. It's I will or I won't. So you've
Ooh,
got
talk
the
that talk.
flexibility financially, spiritually, emotionally. Like there's no hesitation. If I want to, I will. If I don't, and someone's like, well, why not? I'm like, because I said so. you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like you're not in a position to question me if you're asking me for something from me. If I say I don't want to, I don't have to really give you an answer on that. And that may be blunt, wrong, whatever, however some people feel about it. But that is when it's freedom. Like you're literally, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That's
And
facts.
and you do definitely have to put yourself in a position to do that. And I'm finding myself in that I am in that position somewhat. We say somewhat because this business that I do want to grow, because that's also a decision. I want to do this, but I want to grow it to a certain level. And I have those standards of what I want to be performing at that I'm not just going to take that easy. I'm not going to just take that easy dub. I'm going to put that one in front of me that I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it. Like that's a decision in itself. But once you put yourself back in that and then you commit to the decision, because that creates a different level of freedom.
Come on. Come
Because
on.
even the I will or I won'ts right now are limited by my own, we'll go, you said the 5 pillars, we'll go to Jamal's, your level of exposure determining your level of success. So I haven't even been exposed to things that I want to say that I will do or that I will enjoy. So I'm looking for that.
Yeah.
The opportunity to be in those positions, to see it, to enjoy it, and to be like, okay, I won't be ever going back to that resort again, because that is, call it what it is.
Yeah.
That's beneath my standards.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And that's
It is what it
freedom.
is.
Yeah, that's
But
freedom. And
yeah, so
something that I heard, where in regards to freedom, and I would see like a bumper sticker, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. Tell me your thoughts on it. But I would always see, and I believe that discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. Now I don't know if I seen it like on a faith based sticker, bumper sticker, or if it was a military type sticker, or maybe not. But when I first got hit with that a couple of years ago, discipline equals freedom, right? Because again, most people's version or idea of freedom is one I want, no borders, no boundaries, carefree, maybe even reckless to a point, in my opinion. Like that's their idea of freedom. But for me, discipline equals freedom just meant like, yo, you do what you need to do now. Like you said, either I will or I won't. And the more you do and the more you stay within your principles, the more you stay within the plan, the more you stay disciplined to your mission, to your vision, to your core values, the freedom that you get to be able to serve who you want to serve, be where you want to be, move how you want to move. And I think whether it was a military thing or even in the faith, as disciples, root word discipline,
yeah,
right? The disciples, they had to discipline themselves. They had to get to that point because they came from all walks of life and realized the way they were walking, the way they were living wasn't the way, the truth, or the life. And so Jesus was like, oh, I need y'all to. So he showed them how. And as disciples, we're called to be disciplined, to have the freedom. And again, I'm going to go into just a whole nother realm of like, we're called to have the peace, not world peace, but God's peace. And that's something that I preach time and time again. Like as much as world peace sounds good, I don't believe it'll ever happen, not in my lifetime. But I do believe that God's peace is more attainable. No matter how chaotic our world is, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what your circumstances, world peace, it's a dream for sure. But I feel what's more attainable is God's peace. And so back to this idea of having the discipline, having, your core values, staying within your purpose, living within your assignment, doing what is, asking God every single day, waking up like, what's my assignment today? Is going to lead to such a peace that makes you feel so free because you don't care about what everyone else around you is saying, thinking, or doing. It just doesn't phase you. It doesn't hit, like we see people, you and I know people who one wrong thing goes off and boom, bro, their whole world's upside down. Like they do because of the way they handle
yeah,
things.
yeah. The and I just saw when you were talking about discipline, disciples, all that. It's being like the way you describe it is okay. Discipline, when you're disciplined to yourself, to who you were called to be, your purpose, your vision, your mission. That's why. So okay, again, discoveryourdis.com. Know who you
Let's
are.
go. Yes,
When you
sir.
say discipline to who you are, you have the discernment to understand what is not for you. And that's the freedom. When you're disciplined to who you are, you can
That's
discern what
good.
is not for you. And
Ooh,
the
I like
freedom
that.
is that I'm not intrigued, I'm not impressed, and I have no interest in what the world's trying to put on me. That's the freedom from it. Most people are trying to do the things that other people want them to do. When you go back to the work thing, when you're gonna see yourself the way when you're gonna see your skills the way your boss sees your skills. Jim Rohn, work harder on yourself than you work on your job. Like all these things, okay, when I work hard on myself, I see who I am, what my purpose, my vision, my mission, all these things are. And if I stay disciplined to that, it creates a freedom of perspective, a perception of how this world operates for you and not against you. But we don't want to do that. We want the easy stuff. And when it's easy and we're having somebody else discipline us, they're disciplining us for their purpose, for their mission, and then you have no discernment because all you think that I'm just here to work this 9 to 5 or this job. And I'm not saying that in a bad way because I did it for, I didn't figure it out until 17 years into my military career.
Yeah,
But the moment I saw that light, I was like, yo, I'm done. I saw it. It was like someone flipped on a switch. I was like, yo, I'm done.
done.
I'm out.
Done.
I'm out.
Yeah, I love that. I love what you just said, right? Like discerning like what's not for you. Because I think a lot of times, bro, people want, all right, God, what do you want for me? What's in it for me? Or what do you have for me, right? Like what's in me? What's the gift? And again, I think we got to continue to go to God with that if you're not sure. But I love how you just kind of went straight to, you discern what's not for you. And when you can really discern that, then you have some freedom. So just quick little backstory. I got a friend I grew up with. He fresh out of high school, good dude, went into seminary. And right out of high school. And he was, bro, I think 1 week before he was supposed to become an ordained priest. My bro went on a silent retreat for a month, came back and said, I can't do it. And so me and him, we caught up later on. And again, so in this process, he got his master's degree. He got his degree in divinity, all this stuff that he had, the preparation. And then he said, yeah, man, I discerned out. And see, and I respected him for that because I was like, you know what? I'd rather you just, come this far and discern out than just go with it and it's not in your heart. Then that's why scandal ends up in the church a lot of times. Just gonna call it what it is, right? But all this to say is that, but at least you went through it, you had the discipline, you went through the whole program, and you discerned out. So maybe that has to be a question that we got to continue to ask ourselves in our own discernment process. What do we need to discern ourselves out of so that we can really grow and have real freedom in the way that is designed? Yep. So I love, man, that you brought that up, discerning out and just discerning away from. So that's big, man. And so I'm going to just share one last nugget before I hand it off to you for this final thought here. And last final thought on my end is I love what he said at the end when he talked about one of your goals as a business person. He said you should be constantly recruiting. And then he said these 3 R's, Eric, E results. All right, 3 amigos. But he said these 3 R's. And here's what he said. He said constantly recruit people in your organization, constantly reposition people in your corp, in your organization. And the last one, he said, constantly get rid of people who ain't going in the same direction and growing your business. So constantly recruit, constantly reposition, and constantly rid the people who are not helping you move the needle. So my invitation to you all is thinking about your own discipline, thinking about what freedom means to you, looking at your daily schedule, how much time are you really putting in? And if you are in a place where you're growing and you're getting momentum and now you want to build and grow constantly, are you recruiting, repositioning, and getting rid of those who are not helping you get to that next level?
Dope. I'm not going to come up with a new final thought. I'm going to stick with that thought. And I'm going to say exactly what you said that mountaintop interview. It really felt like a mountain when we was going up those stairs though, bro.
Hey, it was the top, bro. It was the top. It was the top.
Is he here? Not yet. But yeah, he said, hey, when you going to see yourself the way your boss sees you? So he may have said constantly recruit talent, like we're looking for other people in your business. If you're not there and you're not building a business yet, or you just don't have, we're not saying you have to build your own business. We're just saying create the freedom or the opportunity for yourself to decide. And the first thing you need to do is recruit your talent. Recruit your talent. Ask for it. Look for it. Look for when you say talent, your gift, the thing that you do extremely well, the skills, the things you're above average in, whatever you want to call it in. Recruit your talent. Stop looking for somebody else to recruit you for your talents. Recruit your own talent and grow it and nurture it. And once you figure out what it is, reposition it to the point where you now can recruit other people's talents. Don't keep yourself in that same spot where you get stagnant and you cannot grow. So constantly reposition yourself to utilize your talent to continue to leverage other people's talent. We call that OPM in the real estate game, other people's money. Use their talents, reposition it to leverage yourself at a higher position. And then what was that last one? Get rid of.
It was red.
Get rid of the things that do not serve you. This is when we talk about discerning what is not for you. Get rid of the things that feel good, that sound good, but no matter how hard you do it, 2 + 2 does not equal 4 and does not serve you. The position, the mission, the vision, the purpose of your life, it is not serving you, so get rid of it. It may be hard because it's been there for a while and it's comfortable that it exists within your life, within your framework, however you want to view it. Get rid of it. That's typically the hardest part, is get rid of the things that do not serve you. So yeah, absolutely. Recruit talent, but recruit yours. If you don't know what it is, don't be looking for other people's talents until you figure out what yours is. Okay? Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to be recruiting you, a bunch of yous, to work in your business. And you already got you, but you getting a bunch of other yous, and we still just missing the entire picture. Reposition yourself once you got that figured out to leverage other people's money, other people's talents, and then get rid of the stuff that doesn't serve you. And that's that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And just for clarification, you said 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4, but doesn't equal 4. That's what you said.
No, when we're talking about getting rid of things, so no matter what, no matter how much you try to add those things up, 2 + 2 isn't equal. It's not equaling 4. So you trying to justify why you have something. Hey, this is like last week where Rhy was trying to tell me the story about the dude. What'd you say, the potter?
The potter, yeah, the potter.
Yeah.
I got you. No, that makes sense. So yeah, you can have two things or two this, but it doesn't always mean it's going to equal that absolute. I love that. No, and I love how we went from macro to micro. Right, I gave kind of that macro zoom out if you're building your business, growing it, but Ray said, hold on, before you macro this thing, you got to micro this thing. You got to focus on you
personal
first.
development. We talking about personal.
Come on. That's it.
We're going to get personal.
That's it right there. So yes, do us a favor, y'all. Drop your takeaways in the comments. And again, we thank y'all. Next week, we will be speaking a little bit more on, I think we have Moose. We're going to be doing a little bit more of that flight assessment talk, I believe. But nonetheless, we thank y'all for rocking with us. And as always, remember, this is a road. All right, look at the middle of the screen. It's a road to results. It's just like the graphic you see on the screen. It's wiggly and wavy. It's never straight. It's never perfect. But we are with you all the way. Continue to grow and always. And like we say, don't just go with us. Grow with us. Yes, let's go.
Do it with enthusiasm.
With enthusiasm, let's go.